Hey, this is Debbie with Cultural Alignment Solutions. Welcome to the Expansion Factor podcast. I am super excited for today's guest because we dive deep here on expanding in life, leadership, and love. And I'm going to say Josefina, I'm going to let you say your name, how the proper name is to say it here in just a second. But I am super excited to engage into this conversation with you because you are truly living everything that we believe here about expanding in life, leadership, and love, and bringing it into every facet every day. So welcome.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, in Argentina, my name is pronounced Josefina, like in Spanish.
I can't do the
I know. I used to have a boss. He was from Houston, and during the 3 years we worked together, he was like Josie, like and he told me, "I'm sorry, I cannot."
Yep.
Was okay. Don't worry. Good. I'm good. It's a nice time to be at people departments. Now we have moved a lot from what it used to be like, let's say in the 80s, 90s.
Yes.
So a lot of insights and more, even though with all the IA revolution,
Yes.
more human, no? That the importance of being more human in the end. Okay, bueno, Argentina is a Latin American country in South America. Most of our population is built by immigrants, okay, that came during World Wars, like Italian, Spanish, Germans, like the last, no, immigration, let's say, of course. Nowadays, we have a very important immigration from people from Ukraine and Russia, Venezuela too. It's a very big country in terms of land. Okay, it's not as big as the US, but it's pretty big. We are very well known because our by soccer, football, as we call it.
Yes. Yes.
Messi, I don't know, do you know Messi?
Mm-mm.
Lionel Messi. Okay, he's now playing football at Inter Miami. We are a very passionate culture in terms of how we speak. Sometimes we look like mad
Yes.
while we speak because we speak loud. We are with our hands and we are pretty energetic. Well, it's a country that has been through a lot and different economic turnarounds. Okay, like stability. It's not something that we are known.
Yeah.
Okay, we have been through a lot of inflation in the past.
Yeah.
Now it's improving, but for you to understand, like I'm talking about 200% inflation a year.
Wow.
Ah.
Yeah. Wow.
Bueno, then I mean you can look a little bit more. Buenos Aires is a really nice city, pretty similar like to Madrid
Mm-hmm.
in terms of its architecture. I have been working in people department since I was 25 years old. Now I'm almost 42. I worked for 15 years in an oil and gas company
Oh,
in
wow.
Argentina that is very well known. It's called Tenaris. In Argentina, it's very well known. It has offices in the US, but it's small in the US. It's not as
Yeah.
big. And when I had my baby, when I realized that I was in a job that I wasn't that fulfilled, okay? And now that I was becoming a parent, I thought I am an example for someone else
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of different aspects of life. One of the things I thought is I wouldn't like my kid to be at a job that he or she doesn't like at all. And he in this case is a boy, so he needs to have an example of someone that looks for being better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I changed jobs indeed. Also, why did I study human resources or labor relations, as it's called here in Buenos Aires, in Argentina? First of all, because I love people. I love development, and I love development in all different areas of our lives to get better at whatever it is that we do. And I love companies too. I love the way companies change our lives. Most of the things that we have them because a company exists and people work at that company. I'm talking like, I don't know, an iPhone, a computer, we have them because someone wanted to build a company, to build something. Medicine, I mean, I don't know, vaccines, we have them because there are companies investigating about that. Of course, a lot of times there are investigations from the public sector, okay? But most of them are pushed by the private sector. And I thought that a very good way of impacting on the life of people was through companies, okay? And making their development in their companies a good experience, a safe experience, safe and challenging at the same time. And then, bueno, besides all of these human relations, labor relations, people department, I'm also a yoga instructor. Again, followed by development, okay? Yoga, it's not just physical, it's about making a little time of your day or your week to be with yourself.
Wow.
And there is where development, insights, and things usually happen, no? I do it by yoga, but people can do it by gardening, no? Anyone has to find their own way to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. So fascinating. You said a lot there. A lot. And I love your mindset on the love and the passion of companies because I relate so much to that. Because the reality is, at some level, most people, I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people have to go to a job or to a company to work, right? To create an income as we take care of our families. And the fact that we are living right now, I feel in this time versus like what you said back in the 80s or back whenever, when I was young, because I'm a little bit older than you, there wasn't the resources that there is now. There wasn't the understanding of mental wellness, self-care, none of that like there is now. And so to be able to have the opportunity to bring those things into organizations so that there is a whole, I call it whole self leadership, a whole self wellness, and the fact that we can do that in a corporate setting, that's the expansion piece that I love. That I love, love, love. And that's why I'm so connected. And anything that I read in your posts, or if anybody connects with you on LinkedIn, they'll definitely see that passion that you also have. In your life, if you were to look back over your life, let's say over the past, let's just go a year ago back, what has been something really significant, would you say, that has brought you right here today, that's expanded, that you're seeing, that just really gets you excited just for you and in your life?
Okay, the last year, I would say I started reading more about, let me look for the word in English.
Yeah.
Like more like thinking about on quantum leadership. Also,
Yes.
it's maybe you can look for the concept, okay?
The quantum physics or the quantum pieces of, oh my gosh, you and I are so connected. So
Yeah.
connected. Absolutely. Okay, go on.
Yes, on quantum, bueno, and there is the concept of quantum leadership and also systemic thinking,
Yes.
like understanding that things are a process, but also it's a system that it's built of different relationships, okay?
Yes.
As I say sometimes here to employees, it's not like 1 + 1 = 2. Not always doing exactly what you're meant to do is going to give you the result that you're expecting, because you're inside of a system, okay, of different kind of relationships, contexts, things that play the different bottoms to things happen one way or another.
Yeah.
So, and that's important to understand, that we are inside something that is For me, it's like bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for us to have processes because the one thing I can always improve is a process,
Yeah.
a working process, okay, a habit process, the way I do things. But that is a concept that I have been reading. I don't want to say study because I didn't go to a formal course,
Yeah.
but reading, and that it's very interesting. Also to understand, not in the context of a company, but in a world context, okay, how something that changes in an office in Washington, let's say that way, affects the whole world, okay, because
Yeah.
everything is interrelated.
Yes.
Understanding how, I don't know, this week in Argentina, we had a very strong storm and that affected our crop. And we do a lot of soy.
Okay.
Okay. How can then that affect countries that buy soy from us, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So things are bigger than ourselves, just of what I do. And I think that quantum leadership has to do with that, no? Understanding that things are interrelated and we need to understand and to learn to read the system and not just the process.
Yes. 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 Oh, you're speaking to my soul because we are all connected. All of us are connected, and everything what I do today affects everything. It's not just individual. And I love that you're there. I do have a question. What do you find like most challenging now that you're learning and you're getting an awareness and an understanding for yourself? What's most challenging in your workplace in transferring that message?
To people to have the insight on that,
Yeah.
not just explaining it. And also to build a process that, for instance, our performance enablement process that also takes that into account.
Yeah.
Because then, I mean, this is me, this is my view, this is my own experience, but not everyone thinks the same as myself, and that is great. Luckily, not everyone thinks like me. But we have to find a place where the program, okay, for performance inside the company, everyone feels that it's fair or it has a meaning for them, okay?
Yeah.
Lucky me, really lucky me, I have founders in the company, my bosses, who really, they're on board with this, of course. If not, I wouldn't be able to build.
Yeah.
No? But explaining certain things and explaining, like, sometimes we all need to be more active listeners. That's sometimes a challenge.
Yeah.
And get some ownership also, because when I say we are everyone connected, we also have to take ownership on I'm going to say it this way, like on what I'm bringing to the room, no?
Yeah, absolutely. There's an accountability and ownership piece that's very much a part of it, right? And how we show up and the energy that we show up. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And on the things that I do. And sometimes that ownership or that accountability, it's really difficult to explain.
Yeah.
What just that means. Also, because one of the challenges that we have in terms of language, our company has 40 employees. 17 of us, 19 of us are Spanish natives speaking. And then we have people from the Philippines and India, China, US. And in Spanish, the word accountability doesn't exist. You are responsible. The word is responsible. We do not have that distinction. So sometimes the language barrier is not just, it's about giving meaning to the words.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
so that sometimes it's a challenge in multicultural environments, no?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you do most of the training for everybody in your company?
I build the topics, and Rocio, who works with me, she builds the training and the content, and she brings the ideas.
Awesome.
different videos and different resources, but I think about the what in the high level should have. We think together the exercises. For instance, now we are working a lot in building the accountability skills, and the training that we build, we separate it from accountability content for analysts and specialists, and accountability content for managers and up. And then instead of having a test on what does accountability mean, what is the RASI matrix, blah, 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 not the tools, what we did is we created a workbook with questions for people to ask themselves, okay, about how they can improve their accountability, what accountability meant for them, what are the things they want to do, etc. Like a journal, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we scheduled 1 hour meeting in our agendas, and the ones that want to join, to have the room, the space at that time, okay, to finish that, they could join or they could do it privately. And we were not reading what they added, no,
Correct.
what they wrote, because it's private, and what we wanted is the insight of it.
Absolutely. You are describing introspective work. And that is the whole point of, and I'm super excited that you're here and right here at the beginning of putting this podcast together, because I actually have a book coming out in a few months, but it's called The Expansion Factor, Living, Leading, and Loving from the Inside Out. And what you're hitting on is so important, I believe, in leadership. So thank you for being at the helm and for leading people to lead from the inside out. If the change doesn't happen there, then we're not going to see actions change. We're not going to see, you can teach skills all day long, but they don't stick if the belief system doesn't change, right?
You cannot give what you do not have.
Right. So I love the work that you're doing. It's so supported in my industry, and I just love seeing leaders that step up and expand, and they're using resources to expand their companies. And it's super important, the work that you're doing. And if they will only realize how fortunate they are to actually be under your leadership to be able to do that, because you don't see that everywhere.
And then, at the beginning, you told me about the fact that we all know, most of us, I think that 99% of the population needs to work to give their family support, no? Like,
yeah.
And even though your job is like at the lowest part of the pyramid, even your job is like, I'm going to say it this way, like cleaning bathrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understand.
You can do that also with a purpose, okay? And you can choose. We all have some room for choosing, okay, where we are going to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay? Like, and how important that job is.
Yeah.
And like, I think we all have a choice.
Yes.
We can all work. And we can all work on that choice. Of course, I'm not going to deny that some of us were really lucky to get to the university, to live in a family that gave us like love, food, education, okay? And I know that there is a lot of people that they are not that lucky. But we all have a choice if we work towards that choice.
Yep. I agree 100%.
We all can move, to different jobs.
Yes,
to different ways of making an income.
Yes, there are, and there's many, many different ways. And one of the things I get the joy of sharing with people is, if you truly believe you are on this planet to make a difference in this world, it's not about job title. It's not about any of that. You can make a difference right where you're at, whatever it is you're doing, right?
Yes, you can. I mean, yes, totally.
It is all about values, exactly, and how we show up. So How fun that you get to do that every day. So you have languages, right? You have a multicultural environment. And so you have many different dynamics going on. So when you go in and go, all right, we're going to train on accountability, and you already know that doesn't translate the same, right, across the cultures. What is the first thing you start doing to go, all right, here's what I believe in, here's what I'm getting ready to expand, and then you start laying it out for your organization. Just give me a little glimpse behind the curtain for what that looks like.
In terms of like we have implemented, we do not talk a lot about different cultural awareness because we also understand that, of course, there is a cultural awareness and we are not the same, okay? But we want to speak more on the person rather than on their nationality or where they come from, etc. So we implemented a MBTI tool.
Yes.
Do you know it?
Yes.
So that we talk more about how a person is regarding their gender, regarding their nationality. So what we did in terms of training is, thanks to IA, when we use WorkRamp, okay, which is an LMS system that allow us to create our training content. And we think more on the different ways of learning. So you see the same content in different ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can read, okay, download like a PDF with all the content. Then we have a podcast built with IA. You put the content to the IA tool and it builds you like a podcast program.
Yes.
Talking to you about the presentation and what we write, etc. So for people who learn more by listening, they can listen to the podcast.
Yes.
And then there are also videos and different resources for the people that learn in a different way.
Yeah.
So we think more on different ways people learn rather than how our culture may have teach us, because also we have different age, different genders, different age gap. So of course, it's not the same teaching to someone who is 50 and someone who is 20. But okay, we do not have room for building one.
Yeah.
Okay, the best thing that we did until now is putting like the different ways of learning in terms of reading, listening, and what we always add is a doing kind of exercise.
Yes. Yes. That's exciting. You are truly leading the way. And I love seeing how advanced that is. And I look forward to even sharing this podcast, in all honesty, with some of my clients and people that I work with, because you are truly going at everything that makes my heart sing, because it is about, again, who we are inside. So a lot of this comes from who you are personally. So I want to ask you that from a standpoint of personally, how you interact and bring you into the workplace, because it's you making a difference, right? It's what you believe on the inside. It's not everything outside. So share with us some things that you do, one, to keep yourself centered, grounded, positive, all of those things. What are some things that you do that have made
I breathe a lot.
Do you breathe a lot? Really? Breathing?
I breathe a lot. Yes. For me, like breathing, like being conscious breathing, like sitting and like inhale, exhale.
Yes.
And feel the body, that's life-changing.
I am so excited. Are you familiar? This is just a side note. If not, I'm going to send you the link. Every Sunday, have you heard of Breathe the World?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I will send you. So my friend is a breath worker. She trained in Italy. Matter of fact, her and I are going to SHRM because we're blending what I do with her breathing. And then the founder of the school is a speaker at SHRM this year in San Diego. So she is a breath worker. Every Sunday, there is a free, and you just log in and you are literally doing a 1 hour breath work with people all over the world. Oh, I just got chills telling you about it. Do you want me to send you the link?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Oh,
Send
We
it.
do it just about every Sunday, and then she leads it sometimes. I can let you know when she's leading it. It is so powerful to be there.
Powerful. It's really powerful.
Oh, and you're breathing with people at the same time all over the planet. And when you visually think of it, it's
It's great.
wonderful. It's wonderful. Breath work and bringing breath work into leadership. That is my passion. And you have just given me, I've literally just this week gone, am I doing the right thing? Shifting.
Yes.
You have
Of
just
course.
given me like this renewed. I woke up and when I was just, I thought of you this morning and I thought, oh my gosh. And I could read and I read in some of your stuff that I felt that you believed in it. But yeah,
Yes.
breathing
Well,
is it.
I breathe a lot, and like when you breathe, also like I consciously think about the different parts of my body. No,
Yes.
like I feel my toes, I feel my knees, no,
Yeah.
that kind of exercise. Then I walk, I go for walks.
Yeah.
Bueno, I practice yoga and I meditate, okay? And then I use a lot of essential oils too.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Um, and I have like candles and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And another thing that for me is also important is to have a neat space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like to have things like kind of
Yeah.
I'm not very neat. Like if I open my do it that. But the place where I work, I need it to be neat. Um those are and also one of the things that I do not do every day, but I do, I don't know, every 4 months or 6 months, when it depends. I usually travel alone to some place near, like for one weekend, one night, 2 nights, alone. No kid, no husband, no friends. Just like,
Singular.
yes, like I like not talking to anyone, those kind of things. And then, bueno, in the organization, I usually, some people are more interested than others, no? I send some YouTube meditations that I practice if that's useful for them. Um, and those are the things I do. But every day I
Awesome.
go for a walk for sure, at least 30 minutes.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Well, I just appreciate greatly. Is there anything else you would like to share about you or anything that you want us to know that we haven't talked about already?
And I think that it's in that this kind of leadership, it's starting of
Mhm.
leadership or mindset. Leadership, it's not just for people who are at the top level of a company, no? We are all leaders in the end. So that's we are all leaders of our life. No? And
Yes.
we all have the possibility of making a change and influencing. But I think that in the world that is coming, okay, it's very important for us to be more human,
Mhm.
to be more conscious of our words, the things that we say, the way that we say them. And there is a lot of room for making business. I love businesses and I like capitalism. What I do not like, or it's not that on my values, is when that turns like, let's burn the Amazonas and put a fabric, no? Like, okay, there are ways of doing it in a way that is a win-win for all of us. And
Yes.
I think a lot of room for that. And also because younger generations, they're not going to tolerate. They're not, not younger generations, and also after the pandemic, people are not tolerating things that maybe in the past we tolerated.
No.
Uh, so understanding to whom you are talking, it's really important.
Mhm.
Understanding again the system, okay, that we are all part of a system. That's really important. And I think that there is a lot of room for making work, okay, more meaningful. Okay.
Yes.
Of course, not everything has to be like passionate, and it's, your job, it's cleaning a bathroom, that's not a lot of passion to put to that in the end, to be honest. But you can always do it the best way possible, and you can choose where to do it and to whom to do it, and the impact it's going to have in others people's life.
Yes. Yes.
And finding that it's important. And also balance, balance. You cannot go through life living everything as high passionate. Not everything is high passion. It has to be a balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe your passion is like you're able with that job to give your family a lifestyle, a living,
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
I think there's a lot of room for change. And I think the world is going to change a lot. It's changing a lot.
And it's fast. It's happening literally every single day that we wake up. Yes, AI has actually brought us into that too. I mean, it's just warp speed fast. And I look at my grandkids and learn from them every day. I'm like, wow, because it is changing fast. So I have an exercise I would like for you to do. I created, it's called Be with Words. I don't know if you can see them, but they're called Be with Words. And so they're cards that just have words on them. Every single day I draw a card. This is a personal exercise that I do. So today's card that I drew for myself was ease. And so what I do throughout the day is I use it as a mindfulness exercise, right?
Okay.
So am I at ease? And I just let the universe go, here's your card for the day. So I'd like to draw one for you if you're okay with it. All right. And then so I'll draw one for you, random. And then when I show it to you or tell you what it is, well, you can tell me what you feel. All right. Or how, okay, what comes up for you. I don't want to tell you what to do. All right. Oh, wow. Are you ready for this one? Self-care.
Oh,
tell us, teach us. What does that mean to you?
Okay, self-care. This is incredible. For me, it's very important, self-care, because I cannot take care of the people I love, if I do not take care of myself. So, I always say that I'm going to be a better mom, a better wife. I joke with my husband. I tell him I'm going to a spa because I want to be a better wife.
He's like, you go, say yes, honey.
Okay, anyway, for me, it's really important I cannot take care of anyone else if I do not take care of myself first.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of private, but I want to say it anyway. When I got married, okay, in our vows, one of the things I said is that I was promising him that I will always take care of myself because that's the best way of taking care of us. I told him that. With certain balance, again, no, with balance, not being selfish. No, not being that. It's not just myself, no? And what I meant for that is that for me also taking care of myself is being in a job that I like, that I enjoy, that I feel things, no? Yeah. Be healthy in my lifestyle, okay? Like I cannot eat every day. I was going to say something really Argentinian, alfajores. Alfajores are, well, I will then send you a picture, but it's not healthy. It is like two cookies. It is like two cookies with milk jam.
Yes.
In the middle and chocolate.
Ooh, a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar, so that's not healthy at all. So self-care for me is the best way of taking care of the people I love.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's your theme, right? It was all through this is what I say. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, right? You can't. It just is what it is. So I am honored to have met you.
Thank you for inviting me. I was really surprised.
Listen, I want